My brothers are dead or gone, but they've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say?
My room really stands out on this camera. I'm watching. I'm not going to look at the big screen the entire time I'm here. I'm only going to look at the small version of Carlos right there.
You'll look up there, trust me.
I didn't even picture your dick. I'll definitely look over there.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nights at the Patio Table. This is episode 11. I think it's 11. 11 or 12. I don't know. 11.
It's my first time.
We got Logan. We have a special guest, Carlos Rodriguez. It's my cousin, brother. A spoon? No, but we've been trying to get him on the show for, 2 or 3 weeks now.
At least a couple of years.
A couple of years now. And it just hadn't been working out. Logan's not here, obviously. The last couple of weeks we've been having some stuff going on, priority stuff that we had to take care of, and it's more important than the show, so take care of that. And I told Logan that I would make a show tonight because we were planning on it, and we got one. So we have Carlos.
Hello.
He's gonna tell a little bit about himself, and we're going to get into the show. It's funny, the first time I ever met Carlos, I was like, I don't know how old I was.
Probably babies because our moms are twins. So.
No, but I'll let him tell a little bit what he wants to talk about, and then we'll get started on the show. Go ahead, dude.
Now you're queuing me up now?
Yeah. Tell everybody what's going on, who you are.
So I'm Carlos Rodriguez, unless the feds are watching. And then I'm not Carlos Rodriguez.
I'm Charles.
Charles Robinson. That's
Robinson?
Rogers. Whatever. One of them works. Yeah, like Cody said, his cousin. His mother and my mother are twins. They shared a womb and rooms. Yeah, I don't really have enough going on in my life to describe myself in very great detail, so yeah, man. I feel like I'm making a Tinder profile right now. Yeah, I'm just like an all-around great guy, like, walks on the beach, and I want to fornicate later. That's it.
Dude. No, we're pretty, I was thinking about this earlier when we were at work. I was like, we're pretty similar in, like, certain stuff, like the way we treat people, like,
horribly.
It's like it's like a mirror, though. It's like you're automatically set out like, I'm gonna treat this person nice, and then as soon as like they're like rude or just like smart, like a smart aleck or anything,
oh, you're dead to me.
You're
right. Dead to me.
Right, and it's just like, yeah. Now you're on the chopping block, pretty much. I was thinking about that earlier.
It's weird that you say that, because that's not 100% how I am. It's probably why I don't have a lot of lasting relationships or friendships, to be honest with you.
It's cool. It's like, it's fair. I guess it's fair to say, treat people fairly.
That's life, man.
I mean, you don't like baby anybody, tell everybody how it is.
Yeah.
It's a good quality to have, I'd say.
You either rub people wrong with like your honesty, or like they appreciate how genuine and honest you are at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So they either like are on far ends of the spectrum of they either really, really like you because of that, or they like want to kill you because of it. And there's a lot of people who are the latter. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, man, the Carlos guy, I don't know about him. Like, oh, you mean my cousin? Oh, that's your cousin? Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay. Yeah. Tell everybody where you're from, dude.
From Fort Wayne, actually, born, but lived most of my life in like the Cleveland area of Ohio. So, like not where there's corn, but where there's crime. So
Crime on the cob.
crime on the cob. Cream of cob. Cream of crime. Crime of cob? Whatever. So
Crime corn.
crime corn.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna say that growing up, you were like in and out of town. It was like really the only time we really hung out. We never really. Well, neither of us really knew when you were gonna be in town.
No, it was like the most random 2 weeks every summer.
Yep.
Like sometimes it'll be Three Rivers. The other time it'd be like the first week we got out of school. Like it just depended. But like the entire time I spent out here, the 2 weeks I was trying to either spend nights at your house or like cousin's house on my dad's side of the family. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to see my dad for these 2 weeks, but
Right.
let's go see someone else instead. So
That's cool. I enjoyed it.
yeah, we had some good times.
Yeah, it would be like, Carlos is coming in town tomorrow. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, sweet.
Well, looks like I'm canceling my plans because he's inconsiderate and didn't want to tell me.
Good times, dude.
Definitely more good times than bad, for sure. Favorite memory? Still when we watched Semi-Pro together for the first time.
Oh, man. He brought
still-
nachos from home. Bro, that is the greatest.
You can't do that. I'm trying to run a business. I had season tickets. I can do what I want.
Yeah, well, I can do this. Dude, we watched that like 10 times.
Oh, my God. We rewinded the part where he punted that basketball and cussed out that preacher referee like 30 times and could not breathe the entire time.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, dude, couldn't breathe. That was funny. Wheezing.
Oh, man. We used to purchase so many movies on your mom's DirecTV.
Oh, yeah. Movies we already seen and everything. Like movies we
Just
seen
running
like
up the
5
bill by like
times.
$400. Not even finishing the movies.
Yeah. Skinamax.
Oh, man. I don't know what any of that is. I'm a good lad. I'm a good noodle. What's Skinamax?
I don't know.
Go into detail.
I forget. Oh, there was something I seen. What was it? There's been a lot going on since the last episode we had, and I didn't really save any of the stories because I was hoping that we would have one and I would remember it, but obviously that's not the case. Do you see that thing going on in Cuba?
So, Tyler, the dude who had the mohawk,
Yeah.
he kind of said something about it today, but I was kind of trying to ignore him because
He's Tyler.
he's Tyler, yeah. So what's going on with that?
So, obviously, Cuba's communist. Their citizens are, uprising against the government. And they don't want to be, communists anymore. And their government, shut all the phone networks down, all the internet down. So there's, no communication with the outside world or anything. And, nobody knows what's going on there. And, it's nuts. And then I guess, what was that, South Africa? Did you see that? Where there's uprising, but you have citizens versus the government, and then there's another sector of citizens that are shooting other citizens.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That Cuba thing kind of sounds like that new Far Cry.
Yeah.
Just that intro to it, the trailer for that game is what that Cuban thing sounds like.
That's kind of crazy.
Spoken into existence like The Simpsons, man.
That's kind of crazy, actually. Because I'm pretty sure that game was based in Cuba or something.
Yeah, it's Latin America.
Huh. That's interesting, actually. But yeah, I was thinking about that, and dude, if the U.S. gets involved with that, it's gonna be nuts.
Which we will.
I was just was in a group chat, and I was just saying how we pulled out of it. We just pulled out of Afghanistan, ended the war in Afghanistan, and we're about to get right into another war in Cuba. I guarantee it. But I feel like Russia's gonna be involved because that's their allies or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like the U.S.'s MO, though. We're all right, let's stop with all this drama. Hey, new drama. All right, so yeah, we're gonna stop with this drama, but we want to come over here and check this stuff out real quick.
Well, it's it's an economy, so it's just finish like orders like at work. Like we have an order we gotta fill, we fill it, and then we move on to the next order. It's almost just like that.
Yeah.
Like make money off of it, but I don't know.
That's all war is money.
Suck my unit.
You're supposed to be a unit.
Just they were trying to. I seen a lot of people were like petitioning to make him a character in Warzone or Call of Duty.
God, they should though.
Dude.
And like they should quote the movie and like more things he probably would have said the entire time.
Gosh, dude.
I'd buy that. I don't even play anymore, but I would buy that.
Yeah, I haven't played in a long time actually. It's just I don't know. Wore out, I guess. Yeah. What else? What else did I see? I don't know. I was thinking of something the other day though too about like I was watching something about the Cuban thing, but what came to mind is like, I know what I was doing. I've been watching like a lot of Vietnam documentaries and stuff, and like dude, every documentary I could find, I've been watching it about Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of my favorite like time periods, I think. And I was thinking like the United States expanding. We have Canada and we have Mexico. Obviously, we own all that. I mean.
Yeah, we're just leasing it to them.
Maybe not like literally, but like, dude, we own it all. But like, I feel like at some point the U.S. will expand some more. I think. Maybe not in our lifetime, but I feel like we're gonna grab more land. I think.
It's not gonna come easy.
It's only getting big. Like the United States is only getting bigger every day. People are coming in every day. Businesses are growing every day. Cities are growing every day. You can't even drive anywhere in Fort Wayne without there being road construction. Literally every street you turn on. Every street you turn on.
It's horrible over here.
Yeah. Yep.
I started taking the highway to work every day because of that. I was like, I'll deal with highway traffic instead of construction traffic any day.
On Washington Center or St. Joe Center, I've watched that road be rebuilt at least 8 times in my lifetime. Remember when it was like 2-lane road? And
yeah, where they're throwing a roundabout in every single intersection at this point.
Yeah.
Like the one in Goshen and Sherman.
That's stupid.
It's pointless roundabout.
Yeah, I didn't understand that, really.
No, most pointless one is the one that's going out toward Huntertown. That's just like in the middle of nowhere.
Trying to think where that one's at.
Like you go up Hillegas.
Okay.
And you just keep going north. And then right before you get to Huntertown, there's that roundabout for no reason.
Yeah. Well, on Union Chapel, there's like 4 or 5 of them on the same road.
Like right next to each other, too. And just doing figure eights through traffic.
Yep.
It's almost as dumb as the overpass for 69 in DuPont.
You gotta go on the wrong side of the road?
Yeah, you go on the wrong side of the road like twice for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that was weird.
I wanted to drive on that side of the road. I moved to Europe. Oh, man.
Who's this? My bad.
Oh, you're good.
Man, I don't know. We got... You been golfing this year? Besides, you went on that.
I played 36 of the worst holes of golf I've ever played, and you've seen me golf, and the golf you've seen me play is Tiger Woods compared to what I was doing on that golf course. I hope the group of people I was with got in a fist fight that night at the country club / bar, but yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so.
Like each other or somebody else?
No, so like some of the workers at the bar at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hammered.
Everyone pretty much.
Drinking for 36 holes, yeah.
Yeah, and so we're all at the house and we're like playing like dominoes and just like hanging out, and like one of Barry's friends like went back to the clubhouse because like the bar and stuff was still open, so like he was drinking or whatever. we're like, this dude's been gone for a while. Like, we should go. Like, oh, or maybe like he's getting lucky or something. And we're like, either way, we wanted to be there for support.
Right.
We get there, everyone's just drinking at the bar. The bar's closed, but they knew who we were because we were there that day, and we're drinking and just hanging out. And I'm kind of like trying not to drink because I'm like, oh, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I kind of just want to go to bed.
Right.
But I don't want to leave these two knuckleheads out here. So we're all hanging out, and we go outside, and we're all like the bartender's like smoking, and they like officially shut it down. Lights were off and stuff, and one of the guys that worked there was like hanging out and drinking, so he got like destroyed. Hits the bartender's car with his car.
Oh my god.
Her car is smoking, and anyone that knows me or my brother-in-law, we're kind of smart asses. So this dude's like pissed. She's like, "What did you do to my car? It's smoking, bro!" Like going off, right?
Wait, and he hit her car.
Yeah.
Her car was parked.
Yeah.
And her car was off.
Yeah.
And he hit it and it was smoking?
He hit her car, so when she got in her car, it was smoking. Like, she turned it on, and it was just smoke. It was billowing out. And he was like, "Do you see smoke?" And we're like, well, the white stuff coming out of that radiator, that was probably fucking smoke. So that's definitely smoke. And he's like, "Oh, I don't see him." Like, well, it's probably because you're drunk, so you don't see much of anything right now. So, like, we're just going in. And me and Barry are looking at this car, and we just start hearing, like, some thudding.
Oh, no.
So we look over, and his friend is just windmill punching this kid, like, with uppercuts, dude. Yeah.
The drunk dude?
Yeah. Just beating the brakes off him. So we split it up or whatever, and Barry's like, the dude's still, like, pissed about it. He's, like, bleeding. And Barry's just being Barry. So he's like, be honest with me. Did he split your shit? And dude's like, yeah, he split my shit, man. Meanwhile, we're trying not to laugh, and Barry's friend is just like hanging out over in the corner, just like bloody smile on his face.
Bruh.
Oh my god, that was a heck of a night.
Dude, that could have been bad.
Oh my god. So there's one other worker that was working there, and he like tried to split up, and he tried to get like big with like me and Barry. And, like, I'm sober, dude. Like, I'm the only sober one here. I don't have anything to worry about right now. I wasn't packing or nothing, but
What was there, like, at least 3 of you?
Yeah, 2 of them. One of them's old, and one of them just got his ass kicked. So, like, It was really like 2/3 of a person standing
Calm down,
there.
buddy.
Yeah,
Calm down.
You're not that guy.
I'm that guy.
You're not that guy. So he's like getting big and bad, and dude's like, "You know what? This never happened." Because he knew if they would have found out that it happened, like, yeah, we would have got kicked out, but he would have lost his job. And this is like Bo Dunk, Southern Indiana.
Dude would have lost his license. Dude would have lost his job.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess the guy who got his ass kicked like came back the next day with like a shiner, and they sent him home.
Yeah, we
I
heard
wasn't
about
there
what
though.
you
I
did
came back
last
over
night.
here. I came back that next day. I didn't stay the whole 2 days because I was supposed to have a fishing trip and got canceled because Lake Erie was too high. The first time we were gonna go, and yeah, I guess like that next night was like fun and less violent for the group. And it was like, I think there was like 16 of us or something like that, or like 10 of us, something stupid, like golfing out there.
Oh my gosh.
And it was ridiculous.
Acting a fool.
Dude, pouring down rain first round. We're on like hole like 15, and we're just gonna play through.
Well, we're already out here.
Golf clubs and bags were just like full of water.
Oh my god.
It was horrible. But we made it happen.
And then it just gets super hot the rest of the day, and you're like,
No, it was cold.
Was it?
It was like after it rained, it was just like freezing.
huh.
But that could have just been because it was windy and we were covered in water. But
Joe's been trying to get me out to go, and I haven't been out one time. I haven't even been to the driving range this year.
I've been to the driving range, and I'm not good there either. So
It's just been hot. I don't really want to go out when it's 90 degrees.
yeah. And when it's not hot, it's raining.
Yeah, that's what it's been raining here for like a week and a half. I just got the mow for the first time in
The
almost
guys,
2 weeks.
yeah, mine looks like a jungle right now. I have weeds tall as me right now. The guys' raft trip got canceled.
Really?
The one that they do every year.
Okay.
They went down, and it was just pouring down rain. So
they
like
went down there?
yeah,
Oh man.
and it started pouring down rain. So like they just kept all their tents together with like canopies and stuff. So like there's like a walking area, but like it was still gonna flood. Like,
Oh yeah, you're in a tent.
everybody like pulling their mattresses up and stuff, and I guess there's like just giant puddles under their mattresses, like inside their tents and stuff. But the water level out there got so high that they wouldn't let anybody on the river, so they had to come back.
Was Wade there?
Yeah.
He pulled up like dude on a Goofy movie with that RV and all that stuff pops out, bowling alley on top, dude. Like, I don't know where you guys are going. I'm staying.
We're gonna start again. Nah, Wade's got that new truck. It's a friggin' jet.
What does he got? The new F-150?
Nah, I think he's got like F-350 or 250 or something like that.
The big boy.
Big old body. Yeah. Kind of jealous. 2020 too, or 2021.
My brother, our brother's buddy, he's got this, I think it's a 2020 dually, and it's disgusting. It's like gunmetal gray. It's disgusting.
Nice.
Like, it must be nice to just be able to buy a
spend mommy and daddy's money.
truck. His dad's like a millionaire.
Yeah, spend mommy and daddy's money.
It'd be sweet, dude. I don't know. I freaking... My truck's been acting up, so I was trying to change the brakes. I need to change the brake calipers. And I don't know if you've seen the rims that have like a locking lug nut. You have to have a key to get it off.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw the number you did to that thing.
Yeah. Snap the lug nut in half. Dude, there ain't gonna get it out. I'm gonna have to drill like the stud out with like a drill bit, and then just put a new stud in. It's gonna suck. But yeah, I was driving it yesterday. Oh my gosh! And you could like feel it, like the front right tire's like
A little wobbly.
Like, not kind of wobbly, yeah, but you can like feel when your brake goes around. It's like grabbing the rotor, and it's like kind of jerky. And I drove like around 2 blocks in the neighborhood and got it home. And I took a bottle of water and sprayed it on it, dude, and it was just cooking the water. Like,
jeez,
just from going around 2 blocks. I'm like, well, that's why I will never buy a GM vehicle again, ever. Every GM vehicle that I've either owned or seen, like the body or the engine outlast the body by like freaking half its life. Like that truck has 101,000 miles, 2007, 101,000 miles, dude, and it's just like rusty.
Piece of junk.
The lug nuts are like stuck on there. I'm like, dude, this thing's trash, bro. It was made in Canada, but I mean, still, it's GM.
I don't agree with any of this, GM. If you want to hire me for like a high-paying position.
Yeah, I didn't mean any of that. I mean, I wish they didn't have that 2-year temp bull crap, dude, because it's like discouraging. Like,
yeah.
You know, I would like to go there and make money, but like, I've worked at Dana for 2 years, and it's like I know it's a lot of work in 2 years. Yeah,
but that 2-year like deal, like crap that they do for the temps and stuff out there, it's probably like well worth it, knowing that you're gonna work with a bunch of competent people, rather than like
that's true.
No,
a bunch of
diploma,
Ray-Rays.
Or yeah, a bunch of Ray-Rays
waiting on my lead.
Oh man.
Yeah, competent people. You ain't kidding, dude. What's Yeah, we ain't gotta talk about that on here. I need to get Dennis on the show, dude. That's what we should have got over here. Dude, he would have took over.
Oh my god. He took over the other day, from what I hear.
Oh yeah. I can't believe that. I mean, I can believe it, but. Hold a second, let's see. I don't know. The G Fuel that you had the other day, that was pretty good.
Are you like hoping to get a sponsor now?
No, dude. I see that one dude I think has a sponsor.
I pointed. So you're either gonna get in a lot of trouble for me having bang directed towards the camera, or they're gonna sponsor you.
We're not monetized, so it's cool.
Well, yay, man.
If we ever get monetized, I'll come back and then I'll
edit that out.
So, yeah. We got what we get? We got copyrighted because we did like we didn't say it was a reaction. We played like George Jones, Tennessee Whiskey, the original one. And because some lady was online saying that George Jones' version is better than Chris Stapleton's version. And I'm like, dude, no, it's not. He might have sang it first, but Chris Stapleton blows his out of the water.
He's performing out in Indiana.
But what is that, down by Noblesville or something?
Noblesville, yeah. It's in like September or something.
That'd be awesome.
Allie and I talked about going.
And we played like a 30-second clip of it, and it got copyrighted. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody worried about you, dude. It's kind of mad. So we had to edit it out, and then like on the show, we're sitting here talking about George Jones. It's like, oh, we're going to play the song, and then it just skips like the whole song. So you can't even hear it, but those people have heard it, and they know, but I don't know. There was there was a lot of juicy stuff too, and I can't remember what it was. So that,
did you hear about all those all the like Democrats that like that were like they were in like office down there that like fled Texas?
yeah, and they all ended up with COVID or something.
Yeah, so they like fled Texas because I think there's like a vote or something. I can't remember the whole story because this is another thing that Tyler was talking about, and he said like the governor or something was like, yeah, we're gonna like arrest all of them when they come back or whatever, because it was supposed to be like somehow they're breaking the law, but I don't actually understand it. I wanted to look more into that story.
You have to check that out. I was like, there's been a lot of talk like that, like during like COVID shutdown. There was a bunch of stuff like, oh, these people are gonna be arrested, and like they say that, but dude, it ain't freaking. I don't know. I heard a good point. So our rules, we weren't going to talk about like politics that much on here. This doesn't really have to do with politics, really, but I heard the first, like, one of the like first perspectives that I agree with. So with like protesting like police and stuff. Like I'm not saying that like freaking all police officers are bad, or I'm not saying all that, but like there's a song called Bigger Picture by I think Lil Baby or something, a rap song. I mean, I don't really listen to, I like all music, but I don't really listen to rap like that anymore.
Was it Lil Baby or a Da Baby?
Lil Baby. And I mean, I like music, so, but I mean, I listen to it, and it's him talking about like what's going on in the country, and like I don't think I can play it right now. Just talking about like the protest, and like it's not about black and white, and I was like shocked, like I didn't even know what it was. I heard it, I'm like, wait, what is this dude talking about? And it was like, it's like everything I agree with, and I'm like, that's kind of surprising from like coming from like a rap song. And like a lot of people will hear that and they're like, oh, I'm not listening to him anymore. He's a sellout.
Right.
And it really wasn't even like anything insane. It was just like logical stuff. Like just thinking logically. I don't know. You can't really speak up anymore. You got to be careful what you say. Really, anyway. What happened?
Yes.
What happened? There we go. Sorry. My bad. There was, I don't know. Just, that was the first time we ever talked about it on here. I'm not going to, like, give my standpoint on it, because I don't really want to get into that, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool coming from a rap song. Like, it's shocking.
Especially like a big rapper like that.
Yeah. You would think, like, I don't know. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good song. So if you have time, I'll send it to you and you can listen to it. I'm like, whoa, dude. Yeah. I don't know. I seen like ammo dropped like 17% or something. Did you see that?
No, but yes.
I seen some. I didn't really read on it. I was
like production or price?
Price.
Oh, that's, yeah, perfect.
Hold on. I didn't really stop. I just was scrolling and I seen an article about it. But it said it dropped like 17% or something. Maybe not. Which is good if it did, because I don't know, whatever. But I mean, you could get it. Like, if you want it bad, if you want ammo bad enough, you can get it for sure.
I mean, you could have before if you wanted to pay like $2 a round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could get it. That's how, like, with shotgun ammo, it's still almost the same. I mean, it's not the same as it was, but it's still reasonable. What is it, like 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch double I is like $5. It's like $1 a round, I think, which is kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
that's reasonable, I guess. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, you would have told me this before everything went down. I would have told you I wasn't paying that, but now I'm like, I'll pay that, yeah.
5.56 was like 12 cents a round, dude. Like, it's insane.
You know, the good old days.
Yeah. Kind of took advantage of it too, or took it for granted. Not advantage. Took it for granted. Go to the store and there'd be like boxes of 100 for like $80. No, 300 round boxes for $80. The Aguila or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm good. Like, now, if I die to have that right now. I don't even need it, but whatever. Do you watch any podcasts?
Listen, I don't really watch.
Or listen, yeah, my bad.
A lot of mine are like sports related podcasts. Like Pat McAfee has one, and he's absolutely hilarious. So I'll listen to his, but I don't know. It's usually that, or if I'm driving with my wife, she likes to listen to like murder podcasts about like old murders that have happened, like gone unsolved or have been solved.
My mom was on a podcast. I guess like
as a murderer.
No. I guess like one of her friends growing up. Man, I don't remember her name. Some lady, her husband was having an affair, and she like was making like recordings of herself, like diary recordings, and like talking about how she's gonna like she don't want to live without him or some crazy stuff. Well, she gets a gun, like a .357 Magnum or something, and goes. I'm not laughing. It's not funny, but goes to this lady's house, shoots her, and then shoots herself because her husband was having an affair. And like they were gonna make like a documentary about it, and they just ended up doing a podcast. Well, like they interviewed my mom because they grew up together or whatever.
Huh.
But like that's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Does your mom have the gun?
I don't
Is
know.
that why they interviewed her?
No, but I think that's kind of a for him. I guess that's kind of a I don't know. It'd be crazy. Depending on how he felt about it, I guess. I don't know.
Nah, I don't know, man.
I don't know nothing about that. Tell him about your dog, dude. Tell him about Raj.
Oh, the one I like?
Yeah.
What, White Lightning?
White Lightning.
What do we have to say about
So
her?
this dude's got a husky, right? And this husky's probably, I don't know, she's not that big. She's decent size. She's in shape.
She's built for speed.
She's built for speed,
For sure.
bro. And when we had an apartment together, and we'd order Pizza Hut. This is just one instance. There's another instance, but
Several
instances. I ordered Pizza Hut one night, and he's in the living room, and I come down to answer the door. As soon as I answer the door, bro, she's just
gone.
We knew it was gonna happen too, and then like it's one of them things where like you got close to her, like sneaking up on her, and then she seen you, and then she was like, "Nope, I'm out."
Yep, gone.
Gone, bro.
Left me in the dust. She's putting us on skates.
Ran like 3 blocks away, dude.
Oh yeah. And some crazy kind of Wonderful Whites of West Virginia stopped and grabbed her. I didn't know if I was gonna get her back.
Oh, we found a husky. Yep. And then what'd your dog go, like 20 miles or something?
Oh yeah, she's 17 miles away from the house one time.
17 miles, bro.
Living by the Coliseum, she ran all the way to the south side.
Dude, she knew where she was going, too, bro.
Out there seeing them pit bulls, them Rottweilers. That's what she was doing. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point, though, where, I told my wife, next time she gets out of the house, she can just go. She don't want to be here.
If you don't want to be here, I'm not
literally.
All I do is pay for you to live here. Man.
Stop running from my love. That's it.
I wish I could do that with one of our animals.
Cat.
Yeah.
All the fish.
I didn't say it. You said it, not me.
Oh, man.
You know who Joey Diaz is?
Yeah, I know who Joey Diaz is.
Yeah, dude. I've been watching a lot of him. He's funny.
He's hilarious.
Hilarious. I know what I wanted to talk about. I was going to talk about the fight.
The Connor?
Yeah, we haven't had a show since then.
Oh, man.
Dude, okay, here's my opinion. I'm just going to get it out of the way. I had Conor McGregor winning that fight. I like both of them. I like Dustin Poirier and I like Conor McGregor. I shouldn't have to choose, but which one I like and I don't like. I like both of them. I like MMA, so I had Conor winning, which I think he was doing pretty good. I mean, I expected Dustin Poirier to win because that dude's just nuts.
I didn't expect Conor McGregor to turn his foot into a golf club, though.
No, not at all. And he was beating him pretty good for a minute. And I'm like, dude, Conor might show out. And then all of a sudden, he hit him with that stanky leg, bro. I'm like, oh, it's over, buddy. No, there was what was that other guy?
Could you imagine being the guy that told him before the fight, hey man, get out there and break a leg?
Bro. Apparently, I don't know if they're making excuses or what, but they're saying, oh, yeah, he hurt it in training or something.
He had fractures
but
going
when
into
he was
it.
sitting on the mat, he's like, oh, no. He acted like he didn't even know. Nothing about it.
Right.
So I don't know if they were making excuses or what. There was another dude. I've seen him before. I never really watched any of his stuff, but Sean O'Malley.
Oh, yeah. Sugar Sean, dude.
That dude is nuts.
Did I tell you about Sugar Sean?
No.
So he was on a Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about how there was a fight where he had knocked this guy out with his left hand. He was standing on his feet knocked out. But, he let the guy get his bearings together and then knocked him out with his right hand. And the reason he did that is because going into the fight, he had already purchased a bunch of apparel that said another right hand from Sugarland. So he wanted to make sure he knocked the guy out with his right hand. Yeah.
Just for the sake of his apparel.
Just for the sake of the apparel that he already purchased.
What did they say? He shot 80-something% of his shot. He landed 80. It was over 200 punches, and he landed 80+%. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was out there playing basketball, so his shooting percentage was amazing. You see him dribbling before he's rocking the guy in the chin.
That's unheard of, dude. That's a lot of punches to land. That dude was taking them too.
He literally hit the guy with an Allen Iverson crossover and then punched him in the mouth.
Bro, he was tight. Oh my gosh.
Dude was out there clowning.
Looks like dude from Spring Breakers, dude.
Dude, yeah. And he made his opponent look like Sloth from the Goonies. So.
Oh my gosh, dude, he did too. That dude had a melon when he was done.
Man.
Looked like a caveman.
He's the dude from Spring Breakers.
Bro, Alien.
Oh my god.
Shout out to James Franco.
Shout out Riff Raff.
Riff, dude. He's going back to braids.
My plan is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. Oh, man.
You been watching anything good lately?
Yes and no. So, we just finished a show called The Stranger on Netflix. Had one season so far. And it's British. But it's a British crime show. So everyone's got these pretty dope accents actually. But it's about like this chick who's going around and like telling secrets to random people and like blackmailing them. Like she'll go up and be like, "Hey, your daughter's on this porn site, and I'm gonna let everyone in the world know, or you got to pay me like £10,000, which is like some form of some amount of money in England. I don't know the conversion.
It's close to like, yeah. What
But
is it like?
then like everyone starts getting murdered and shit, and it's like, oh, Link, some fat kid cuts the head off of alpaca. It gets weird. So yeah. In each episode, like I watched the first episode, I'm like, I'm not gonna know if I'm gonna like this, but I'm trying to figure out why this fat kid just cut the head off of an alpaca. So then I watched the next episode, and it gets like more in deep in everybody's cases and everybody's like blackmail. And then it just gets deeper and deeper. You just fall down this rabbit hole just for the end of the show for you to find out there was really no reason he cut the head off this alpaca besides the fact that he was high on PCP.
Oh my gosh.
That was it. But it was a pretty interesting show. We watched that, and we started this one called Manifest. It's like this plane from like Florida. Every good story starts with from Florida.
Especially on the show, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man in Florida throws alligator through drive-through window.
I believe it.
I believe it. You ever been to Dade County? They're like, or it might have been Bahamas. I don't know, some warm place. It goes up in the sky, and like there's like they hit like turbulence, or so they think, and they land, and they're 5 years in the future.
What?
Yeah. So like
Bermuda type stuff?
Kinda. But like to them it was just like a 4-hour flight. And they land at the airport, and the cops are there, and they're like, this plane's been gone for 5 years. And like their family gets there, like their kids are grown up, and their like parents are dead, and they think they're living like just one day ahead of time, and everyone else is like, dude, it's been like 5 years. Like I left you for like your best friend and shit. Like, it's actually like a real thing that happens in the show.
Like some Pearl Harbor type stuff?
Yeah, and then they have like it's weird. Like this main character girl like hears voices. She'll walk past like these dogs that are like chained up in a junkyard, and the voice will just like, free them, let them loose. So she does, and these dogs like end up like finding these 2 girls who were abducted like months back, and she happens to be a cop, so like looks really good on her resume. Despite the fact, she broke the law by doing that.
Oh, no surprise there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and like it, like people start getting killed off by like what seems like the government. We're not that far in the show, so, but like people who were like involved on that flight like just start getting killed off, and like it seems very government-y, but also one was like the husband shot his wife in the back of the head while she was watching TV. Yeah, and she was like and like all the characters like change after they get off the flight. Like the old lady who got shot in the back of the head was like this like money hungry like slumlord that owned like a strip mall. And she got back, she wanted to like not be that person and like pay everybody back at the strip mall and like apologize for being so rude and stuff, and then kablam. It's weird. It's a good show.
Like a mystery kind of.
Yeah, and show. I don't understand the point of any of it, but it's just another rabbit hole I keep falling down. So
it's probably one of them shows that has like a super deep meaning. Like
right.
There's like really a real meaning behind like everything that happens.
Have you ever seen The Following?
I feel like I've seen it before.
So it's like this cop author type guy who like God, it's so hard to describe. It's like there's these like criminals who are like obsessed with this guy, this author, and so they're like doing all these crimes and stuff just to like it's weird. It's like a culty type thing, but it's actually pretty interesting, and I wish it would have lasted longer than it actually did. We finished that one, but I don't know, most of my stuff is like crime and espionage related, like Shooter and Quantico type stuff. But
I tried watching The Man in the High Tower. I just couldn't get into it. It's an interesting plot, but there wasn't enough action. I think a show like that should have had way more action in it.
Right. I can't get into like any of like popular shows. Like people are like, oh, like you should watch Queen's Gambit or The Crown, or
Never even heard of it.
Like it's a show about chess, And I guess like when it came out, like chess sales like skyrocketed. People were like buying up chessboards and still like sucking at the game. But they're just like, yeah, this show's so cool. But like unlike Breaking Bad, like where like it was all about meth and like meth sales didn't skyrocket. They were kind of like already pretty high. But
sales for crystal meth skyrocketed, but like bottled dope just kind of just fell
right.
off.
Sudafed probably shot through the roof though.
Man.
But like I don't know. I usually just like find a show and I'll just read the description about it and I'll try it out. And a lot of them are shows that no one else I've talked to like have even tried to watch. I'm like, whatever. But
yeah, like I know what you mean, but like Game of Thrones and stuff like that, everybody was talking about it and I'm like, yeah, I just don't really.
Right. So like I actually watched Game of Thrones, but like I felt like I was pressured into it. Mm-hmm. So like I just like crammed like the first 4 seasons, 5 seasons, whatever it was, because I didn't start until like a month and a half before the last season came out. Mm-hmm. So like I was still finishing it up like 3 episodes into the last season, and I had to like catch back up on those. But like it was kind of a major disappointment.
You were the one that told me about Dave, didn't you?
Dave's hilarious.
Yeah, okay.
Dave is hilarious. Kind of iffy on the second season so far.
I didn't catch any of it yet.
But the first season is absolutely hilarious. But that's funny, also a little dicky. I feel like they're kind of trying to force it in the second season. It's got its moments. If you get a chance, watch Schitt's Creek.
I've seen it, but I haven't watched it.
It's so funny. And I didn't think I could ever find Eugene Levy that funny after American Pie.
Eugene Levy's at the dad with the eyebrows?
Yeah.
Dude, he was in something else that I watched. He was pretty funny.
So, but that show's hilarious, and I don't know why I like it so much. I'm actually kind of ashamed to say I like it.
No, dude, don't be ashamed on here. It's alright.
I'm not ashamed.
I personally like documentary type TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know, First 48 or like, I don't know, mystery shows or like, I don't know.
That's man, dude, docs. If you like docs, have you seen Blackfish yet? That's about a killer whale in SeaWorld that's like actually like killing its trainers.
Okay, I've somebody told me about it.
Pretty dope.
It's a real.
Yeah, real thing. Pretty dope. It's like I can't remember the fish's name, or mammal's name.
Free Willy.
Pretty much. No, it was like Tilly something, but it's a pretty good documentary. And a lot of my documentaries I watch about sea animals for some reason. I have no idea why, to be honest with you.
No, that's cool. I've seen some the other day and they were talking about. Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with like SeaWorld or any of that. Like, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I know enough to be like, yeah, I don't really.
That's pretty cruel.
It is cruel, but at the same time, you have all these people that are like, oh, it's a tank. You got a whale in a tank, and they belong in the ocean. But I'm like, bro, you got a cat and a dog living in your house.
Right.
You can't have a cat and a dog living in your house, and you're sitting here protesting about whales being in a tank, bro. You gotta.
Yeah, and SeaWorld used to be like the coolest thing in the world when I was a kid.
Well, yeah. You're not really thinking about like.
Oh yeah, splash me with that piss water you're swimming.
Bro. Yeah, salt water.
No, I'm pretty sure the Great Lakes are freshwater there, bud.
I seen a seal. A sea lion or something was freaking singing karaoke, dude. Today, I seen a video of it.
Do you know what song I was singing? Please tell me the song by Seal.
I think it was like Michael Jackson or something. But he would like talk and then he would like snap his head back at the microphone and like say the words, and then when the words would go away, he would just like turn and like get a treat, and then when he would
kind of want to party with this guy.
Dude, they need to open up a karaoke bar for him. That's pretty funny.
Oh man, did you see the Ted Bundy tapes?
I think I did. They came out a couple years ago, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude.
If you like serial killer type things, watch Mindhunter.
Mindhunter? So
Mindhunter is a series that's like derived from truth, but it's like turned into a series, and it's this like criminal psychologist FBI agent or something like that. He's going around. And it's based like back in like the 60s and 70s.
Mm.
He's going around. He's interviewing all these serial killers like Ed Kemper and
Richard
the
Kuklinski.
BTK killer and Ted Bundy, and like he's talking to all these guys, and he's talking to them about each other. And like Ed Kemper is like this real killer who like cut his mom's head off and had sex with her head, like type shit. And he's like one of like the main guys.
Jeez.
And at one point he like puts the cop like in a chokehold because like the cop trusts him too much, and he was just doing it just like mess with him, right? So this guy ends up getting like really seriously messed up in the head, like the cop does, and because he just like gets too deep into it, right? Where he just like his blinders are on, and all he can see is like information about these killers. But the second season like is based off the BTK killer, which was a killer like California, Arizona, is over on that side of the country. But BTK stood for bind them, kill them, torture, or buy them, torture them, kill them. They called him BTK because he would literally like bind you up, torture you, and then kill you. Like he was like tied like this young girl to like a steel pole in her basement and like all this kind of stuff. Like people would come home and like they would like go to make a phone call and like the phones are completely dead, and like at first no one would like think anything about it. And this is all like real stuff like that he was doing. Like no one would think anything about it because back then they're like, oh, you know, you still got someone like moving the lines to make a call and stuff. So he's they'd like you know, kind of ignore it, and then they would wake up like tied down to their bed by like phone cables and stuff.
Jeez.
And he would just kill him. And then so like it started getting a thing like when people were like they'd pick up their phone like make a call and they'd be like, oh, phones are dead, like we're about to die tonight type shit, like because it was like he was doing it so much. And
Dang.
So watch that series because like it kind of shows like a lot of the crazy stuff like serial killers were doing back in the day. And like it went through like the God, what is his name? Richard Ramirez, I think is the guy's name. He's like this Hispanic guy who was like going around killing people. He's just like breaking in, and he was wearing like they found him because he was wearing like these like ASIC shoes that like only like sold like one pair.
His name's not Rico, is it?
I don't
Is it
remember.
Rico?
I don't know. I feel like it's Richard Ramirez. They might have called him Rico. That might be his nickname, like his homies call him by or something. But watch that, and then there's this documentary that came out recently where the daughter of the BTK killer is like being interviewed because she didn't know her dad was the BTK killer because he just like fell off the face of the earth. Like it was happening so often, and I'm pretty sure it's California, like random neighborhoods through like Sacramento and like random places in California. And one day it just stopped. Like all these killings, all this stuff stopped. And I guess this guy like started doing it again, and like they like found traces of like DNA. They're finally able to match it because it finally just like that technology wasn't available back then. And I think it's called Growing Up with BTK or Living with BTK.
So
or
he was
something.
like doing murders and then stopped for like some years. And
Yeah, and like his daughter had no idea, and like she knew what the BTK killer was because they were like living in the area. She had no idea the whole time that her dad was the BTK killer until she was like at school or something. I think she was like in college, and like cops like pulled her out of her like her classroom. They're like, you know who the BTK killer is? She's like, yeah, well, that was like from way ago. And they're like, no, that's your father. Like crazy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Could you imagine though? Imagine like waking up one day and finding out like your mom has just like killed like 70 people and you had no idea this whole time.
I mean, there's another dude. You might have heard of him, Richard Kuklinski. They call him the Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
And he does. They made a movie about him with the dude from Bad Boys. I know my rights.
Oh.
Dude they put in the trunk. He plays him, and it's a pretty good movie. But they actually have like a dude that was doing interviews. They interviewed him while he was in prison. And, like, he just like told everything that he did. Like he was a hitman for, I think, the Gambinos. I think he was like an executioner for them, and like Paul Castellano and all them, and like he hit like 300 people, killed like
Jesus
300
Christ.
people. Yep, that's a pretty good. They made a movie about it. It's pretty interesting.
Do you know what it's called?
Iceman.
Okay. I have to check that out.
And he's like this Polish dude. He's like 6'7", just monster, dude.
Have you seen? There's a video, and it showed up on my YouTube like every day for like 3 weeks. It was called "What Pretending to Be Insane Looks Like." I think is what it's called.
It's like the not the movie theater killer, but one of them.
It was a school shooting.
Was it the school shooter?
Yeah, so it was a school shooter.
It was like the Russian dude or something.
No. So it's like this kid's like just American, right? So like
I know you're talking
he
about.
goes to his school with, guns, obviously. Just opens fire, starts killing all these people, shooting all these people and everything. He leaves, changes his clothes, leaves, and he gets like seen at like it's like a McDonald's or something like that same day, like right after it happens. Like he was like, oh, it's my alibi, like I'm in McDonald's, right? So but like cameras had already caught him and like knew who he was. So they get this guy, they book him, and he's a teenager, right? So he's sitting there and this cop's just interviewing the entire time, and the whole time it's just watching this. It's like, I want to say like hour-long video. It's kind of like, it's interesting, but it's also weird. So they're interviewing this kid, and the whole time he's trying to act like he's insane because, contrary to popular belief, if you act insane, you don't actually get less time. Like a lot of people think. They're like, oh, they just say reason of insanity, I'll get a couple years in the kooky bin and I'm out. And that's not the case. A lot of times you're in there longer than you would actually be in prison, right? A lot of people don't know that. So they're interviewing this kid, and he's like acting like he's seeing things and hearing voices, and the cop's like, the fuck are you looking at, kid? And he's like, oh, I see a demon. Like, just like the most like insane, like uncrazy moments ever, right? So they actually show in that kind of like documentary video, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube, that like what insanity like actually looks like. And it goes back to this other guy who had like, he had got a ride from somebody and like held him at gunpoint, had him drive him out to like the middle of nowhere, and he shoots this guy, leaves the car, leaves the guy, and he's just walking on the side of the highway, covered in blood, gun in his hand. And the cops stop him. They're like, the fuck's going on? He's like, oh, I just killed somebody back there. And the whole time they're interviewing him, this guy's got no emotion. And they're like, this is how you know like people are insane. Is they were interviewing him, and they're like, do you understand what you did? He was like, yeah, I understand what I did. And they're like, walk us through what happened. And he's just like super calm, like, yeah, so I got a ride from so-and-so, and I put a gun.
There's a fly on your thing.
It's okay. I put a gun to his head, and I took him out here, and at that point, I told him to pull over, and I told him this is where you're going to die, and like just goes into like incredible detail about like what he just did. And the whole time he's like not showing emotion. He's just acting like, yeah, this is normal for me, right? And they're like, that's insanity, right? Mm-hmm. But the whole time you got this kid who just shot up a school. He's like, the demon's telling me to do this. And the guy's like, well, why doesn't the demon stop? Why don't you tell the demon to stop? And he's like, the demon doesn't listen to me. And he's like, was there any way the demon would stop? He's like, usually when I smoke weed. He's like, so why don't you smoke weed? He's like, because it's illegal. And he's like, well, shooting people at your school is illegal too. Why'd you do that? And he's like, and then he'll just like start freaking out. Like, oh, I see him again. Like, and the cop's not buying it at all. And like, it's not funny because it was school shooting, right?
Right.
But the cop's demeanor the entire time is actually very impressive. That like cops just like sitting there like this, like, dude, you're bullshitting me the whole time. We've already got you on tape. Like, I don't care. Like, when you get a chance, when you get a free hour to watch some weird stuff, watch What Pretending to Be Insane
I've seen it on YouTube, yeah.
And it's kind of crazy, like seeing like, because that's how I would have acted, right? Mm-hmm. You think like if I'm like, no, a lot of people talk about, like, I'll put peanut butter in my my drawers and go to court and, like, eat it, and people think I'm crazy.
Right.
Right, like, that's, like, they're, like, crazy people don't actually do that. And, like, it kind of makes sense. Like, they're just, like, emotionally disconnected and, like, don't see anything wrong in what they did, like, psychopath and sociopath type shit. So
there was a debate I seen recently about, like, if all people that take somebody's life is, like, insane in some form or another, like, obviously, like, war is excluded, obviously, that's different, but, like, a murderer, like, somebody goes and waits outside of the movie theater and, like, follows a woman and kills her, like, you gotta be, like, screwed up.
So, like, Batman's parents.
That happened to him?
Yeah, so, like, they were, like, at, like, a play, and, like, they got, like, mugged in an alley, and his parents got killed in front. Anyway, so let's, like, we can be more serious.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, like, you gotta be whacked in the head, like, to some extent, to just, like, oh, yeah, I'm about to do this, I'm about to kill somebody.
Right.
Like, you gotta be some kind of insane, I think. But, like, some kind of brain damage or something, I don't know. Speaking of brain damage, who was that dude that was, like, about to commit suicide? We're talking about it. Athlete.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah, dude. That's nuts,
Crazy,
bro.
dude.
That's nuts.
I don't know.
I was watching
That's so weird.
I was watching a podcast, and they were talking about, like, head trauma and stuff. Like,
I was gonna ask, like, do you think, like, that's, like, related to, like, CTE?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen the movie Concussion?
Mm-mm.
Will Smith. So, like, that movie's about that. Like, when the NFL, like,
Found
first,
out about
like,
it.
yeah, started, like, attacking it really hard, and it's, like, the backstory of it that they turned into a movie, and it's actually a really good movie. So, like, one of the guys is, like, a former Pittsburgh Steeler, and he starts, like, huffing bleach and stuff, like, inside his like, the back of his truck, and he, like, leaves his family, and, like, it's the only thing that, like, keeps the pain away.
Oh.
And then, like, he ends up, like, doing more damage to himself doing stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he was, like, violent towards his family and this, that, and the other, and, like, then, like, it started happening with more people and more people and more people, and they were like, oh, this is a big deal. So that's when I, like, cracked down on it. But, like, everyone always sees it, like, after you retire, like Junior Seau and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
It's like
Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson,
yeah.
you know, freaking George Foreman and all them dudes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy though, because, like, I mean, Richard Sherman's still in the league, right?
yeah.
So, like, well, I mean, I guess he's a free agent, but, like, he's still, like, got time to play. But, like, if this is, like, CTE happening before it's, you know, normally happening, like, that's gonna be crazy. And, like, the outfall of that, especially if, like, they can relate it to something like that, like some sort of head trauma.
Mm-hmm. I was watching this podcast, and they're talking about, like, head trauma and, like, how it can change your life. Like, you get punched in the head one time or hit in the head or fall and hit your head, you can literally, like, you wouldn't even know it, and you'd just be different for the rest of your life. And you wouldn't even realize it, but, like, other people could notice. And, like,
there's a video that was on, it was, like, my Instagram or something, so I don't know how credible it is, but it was, like, a boxer who was, like, boxing, got punched in the back of the head, and, like, he spent the rest of his time, like, his life, like, in a wheelchair, like, trying to, like, learn how to, like, walk and talk all over again.
I believe it.
That's crazy. I guess that's why punches to the back of the head are illegal in contact sports.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like, really, like, contact sports like that's only going to get more violent.
mm-hmm.
Like football, obviously, the technology's going to get better, and then they're going to, like, get hit harder, and dudes are going to get bigger and
Stronger and
right.
faster, yeah.
And we were talking about a couple weeks ago in here the bare knuckle league fight club.
I've been watching a lot of those recently.
Dude, that's nuts. That stuff is nuts, bro. Like, MMA's cool, but, like, dude, these dudes are punching bare fist and, like.
So it's entertaining, but, like, I don't know if I could go to an MMA fight.
Mm-hmm.
You give me, like, a Conor fight, or if, like, Anderson Silva, two guys who keep breaking their legs, were, like, fighting, right? I could go to that. I could watch that happen. I could watch like a style bender take on someone or John Jones break someone's face in, but I don't know if I could go to a bare knuckle fight.
Dude, that'd be brutal.
Yeah, like not only like watching it, but like hearing knuckle to skull. I don't know if I could do that.
Dude, and really, it goes like it could go both ways, dude, because it's like a bar fight, pretty much. Like,
Literally.
I mean, there's some athletic dudes, but
And I've seen a lot of guys with like old style like mustaches, like old boxers that you see like.
What do you see? What do you say? What do you know?
Hey. that there's still people looking like that fighting right now.
Yeah.
Like.
And a lot of them, they're kind of like, some of them are like retired professionals, but like a lot of them are just amateur dudes, like that just like
They're
fight.
just like, yeah, give me a rail. I'm gonna go punch somebody in the face real quick.
And like, I noticed too, like them dudes that get punched, they'll get hit and they'll fall down, and dude, they will just sit here and just keep punching them in the face. Their heads bouncing off the mat, and they're just like hitting them until the ref stops. Man, dude, that dude got CTE like 6 times already.
Yeah. Oh man.
I've hit my head quite a few times. Obviously, when you have a head this size, it gets in the way sometimes. And like, I've hit my head so many times, and it's like, dude, that is not good. Like,
No.
I felt it, and I'm like, oh man. Like you hit your head, and it goes white, and you're like, whoa.
So you remember by the break area how there used to be that rail that hung over thing, and you would just like walk there.
Yeah.
I smacked my head so hard on that piece of steel so many times. Where like, there was one time like I thought I was about to black out.
Dude.
Like my left eye went down like Forrest Whitaker, and I was just like, for like all of like 2 minutes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker. No, dude. This dude. Hold on. James Earl Ray, I think his name is. The dude from Sandlot.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, dude.
Oh yeah, I know who James Earl Jones is. That's Darth Vader, man.
Yeah, looking like him, dude.
Oh, go to the top left picture.
Um,
Oh,
Bro,
okay.
right here?
Bro.
Yeah, on that rail.
That's Darth
especially
Vader, dude.
When you hit it like right in the middle, like where your like skull's not right here, back here, it's like right in that like thin spot, your skull.
You almost started sounding like Miss Your Candy from Django for a second. You're going to talk about certain indentation lines I had in my skull.
Bro, stop, dude.
Dude cuts his hand open while they're recording that scene. And it was so hardcore, they're just like, that's the take we're going with. Meanwhile, dude's like, he like 12 stitches in his palm. That's crazy.
That's my favorite movie, dude. I don't. That's probably gonna get taken the wrong way, but that's definitely my favorite movie for sure.
Very entertaining movie.
That and Inglourious Bastards are my 2 favorite movies.
Inglourious Bastards, another good one. But that's just
Like
Quentin Tarantino.
It's just a Tarantino thing, I think.
I was a Tarantino fan from the young. Dusk Till Dawn, man.
Oh yeah.
It's the first Tarantino I ever seen. He was in the movie.
I like Leonardo DiCaprio too, so I think that's it.
Meanwhile, plays good role in Django, plays in Titanic, plays in Catch Me If You Can, plays in everything.
Basketball Diaries. I
Yeah,
think
plays in Inception. Finally wins the big one for a movie where most of his words were while he's dragging himself across the snow in Revenant. Finally wins the big one.
Yeah, he should have got it.
They just don't like the sound of his voice at that point.
Right.
You could have had plenty of these, but you talk too much. So here's a role where you
should've
say
had a couple
7
of 'em.
words. Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street, that was a good one. I'm still waiting for Margot Robbie to call me back. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Man, that's a good one, dude.
Speaking of Margot Robbie, I watched Focus again for like third time in my life. It's her and Will Smith, and he's like a con artist.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Pretty
Is
good
it like
movie.
newer?
I mean, it's a few years older. It's not like 40 years or anything. It's probably like 7 or 8 years.
Are you big on conspiracies?
I dabble.
Do you have any conspiracies that you have caught your attention recently? Like,
So pretty, I mean, just the same thing I keep repeating to myself. So like, you guys kind of touched on it a couple shows back, about like aliens. There's actually a thing that came out said, it was an article that was talking about what if aliens are living beneath the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you read into any of that.
Uh-uh.
And they're saying because like there's a, what was he? He was like an astrophysicist or something. He said that a lot of occasions that people have talked about like seeing UFOs or something, there's been a lot of cases where people have said they've seen UFOs like coming into or going out of water.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of or going into water. So they're saying like with, you know, the world being mostly covered in an ocean and most of that ocean still being unexplored.
Nobody's out there watching them.
Yeah. So they're saying like what if they live, like what if they're here and they just live they have bases pretty much like underwater.
It's crazy.
Like they've already been here, and how long have they been here? And the reason you see them there's so many sightings and people seeing them so often is because like they're here. They're not coming from
right.
You know, galaxies far, far away or anything like that. They're literally here already with us.
That's crazy because I mean, yeah, like 70% of the planet is like uninhabited by humans.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible.
No one knows how deep the deepest part of the ocean is, right? Mm-hmm. And if they're that kind of advanced beings or what have you, like there's no reason they couldn't have civilizations underwater. And no one says they breathe oxygen like us. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's creatures on Earth that breathe both water and oxygen, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I mean,
a sea turtle can hold its breath underwater for like days on end. So
that's crazy. It's kind of.
You think that's weird? You should see how we pee.
It's kind of similar, but kind of off topic too. Like I think I was at the pet store the other day looking at like saltwater fish and stuff, and there was coral. And then I got to thinking like how different the ocean is to like land when it comes to like creatures and stuff. Like, dude, there's so many insane
creatures that are
in
absolutely
the ocean.
Blind can find their way under the ocean.
Like just gnarly looking creatures, like alien looking creatures, bro. Like
have light bulbs attached to their head and shit.
Yeah, just weird, bro. Like salt water, like salt water, not really plants, but like coral, like filter out. So corals like the plants of the ocean, kind of pretty much like the trees of the ocean. They filter out the water and like they're living, which is it's like I don't know, like sea anemone and all that. Those things are just weird. Bro.
Yeah,
I don't know. There was a conspiracy that I think Logan talked about it called like the mud flood, and it's a theory about like civilizations previous were like buried under what seems to be like mud, like a mud flood, obviously like a flood. But like, it's crazy. Hold on, I'll pull up a couple pictures of it so you can see it. But it's pretty like, there's a couple of documentaries on YouTube. I didn't really dive a whole bunch into it, but like it's kind of interesting and it really makes you think. Here's one, like if it'll load. You're gonna do this to me? So like,
Got you over for fish tacos.
that's how you do me?
That's how you do me?
Kind of weird. Okay, are you gonna?
It's a gun I used to use when I was a prostitute.
Okay, apparently Pinterest don't want to load. Let's try this one. Bro, are you kidding me?
Go click it again. Scroll down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like right here. So, like, there would be a building. And then it would get buried underground. Like, this is all underground right here.
Like, it just, like, slowly sinks, or?
Yeah, like... And it's like, here's a whole other building under here. And then this would be where the street was. Right here. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I've been on a big conspiracy lately about, like, history, like, is shorter than what we think it is. Like, it's not, history isn't as old as what we think.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like,
think about it. I mean, like, we think, like even just, like, recent history, we think, like, you know, black people have always been allowed to vote, or, like, do that. Like, that was in the 60s. It wasn't that long ago. Like, we just missed living it, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, the civil rights movement, we just missed that.
Right.
Like, it's not as far, and we're reading about it in textbook right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't that far ago. I mean, Tupac's death, that was, like, 25 years ago, 30 years ago?
Right.
That wasn't that far ago.
I was thinking, too, like, our great-grandparents were alive during the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's really not even that long ago. Like, I can remember my great-grandparents. I don't know.
My grandpappy built his house in 1902.
1902. I don't know. I don't think it's as old as we think it is, bro. I really don't. I mean, there could be, like, history, like, stuff older than what we think it is, but I think it's, like, our history. I think it's a lot younger than what the world's history is. I think there's a lot of stuff that, like, happened that isn't recorded, I think.
It's got to be. Think about it. How much do you know about a lot of history stuff you learned in school? Like civil rights or the world wars and stuff.
That's all recent stuff.
Yeah. You know a lot about that, but all the stuff that's, like, older, like, no one knows besides what you read in the Bible. Nobody really knows what was going on back in the time of, like, Jesus Christ and all that, right? Like, you don't have a detailed picture. I mean, you do, but you don't, right? You know of that time frame with that person and that group. But you don't know anything else that's going on in that time.
Right.
But the last 50 years, you could probably name one big event that's happened in every single country so far in the last 30, 40 years, just off the top of your head. Right?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But, like, it goes, so, like, during this time period, I guess, there was, like, what is it? Not like a settlement, but, like, a civilization, like, where Russia was. And I kind of perceive it to be, like, nomads. Like, that's what it kind of reminds me of. Like, nomads moved around a lot and, like, built up and moved around a lot. And it seems like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me, I'm not saying that's what it is, but I kind of get that vibe from it, like nomad vibes.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about, like, I wonder if there's stuff in Fort Wayne like that, like downtown. To where, like, you can see, like, this let me go.
There's got to be. A lot of the old areas and buildings and stuff, yeah. There's something that had to be there at some point. It can't be these obviously aren't the first buildings that have ever been built in Fort Wayne.
Right.
Like, they're just not. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like right here. That looks like London or something. And that would make sense, though. Like,
yeah.
London would actually make sense because London's old, bro. Like thousands of years old. Maybe. No.
They're old.
That area, I mean, England, I guess. I mean, there's like, yeah, it's at least 1,000. Obviously not the buildings, but like, yeah, like that stuff. Like, that's where the road would have been. Like, you can see it right here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like, there's a whole other building, like original building under here. It's weird. I don't know. Why would there be windows?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to have windows underground, so.
I don't know. Maybe that.
And I mean, think about it. So, like, you go to you go to like France or something, and they have like the catacombs,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, that's its own structure underneath everything. It's just a massive graveyard under everything. Like, why do you have tunnels and everything in a graveyard, and why is it that big?
Yeah, that's weird. We watched a show. It's called The Curse of Oak Island, and they're looking for like treasure and stuff on this island up in Canada. But like the tunnels, they're like a couple hundred years old, and they're over 100 feet underground. Like, dude, their technology obviously wasn't lacking to what we think it was.
Right.
You can dig tunnels that deep underground. I mean,
They build giant pyramids and the giant sphinx. I mean, you're not doing that with like hand tools. I mean, technology is a little bit better
I
than
forget
fingers.
where it is, but there's a place, and like all the stones fit like perfectly together. Like people say, like the only way that could happen if they were like laser cut, like that kind of precision.
Are you doing like Stonehenge?
Was it Stonehenge?
Probably. I heard it was like everything is like pretty precisely cut and like put together, and like
Yeah.
everyone's thinking like it was like an alien thing or like a supernatural thing.
Mm-hmm. There's something like it's natural, but there's something like that in Indiana, southern Indiana. It's called like Jug Rock or something, where it's a natural thing, but there's like this column. It's a rock column that's just standing straight up, and it's got a flat rock sit right on top of it. But it's like natural. It's crazy. Look, I'll show you.
Natural, my ass.
Look at this.
You know, one conspiracy that I believe in
What's up?
is I believe that horror movies.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that's very interesting.
My bad. Go ahead.
I believe like horror movies, all of them are based off of something. I feel like no one has that creative of a mind to think of like the creatures and like the like entities or whatever you see in like horror movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who would have ever thought of like zombies, right? Like, that's one thing. I'm not saying like zombies are real, but I'm saying like something like that has happened at some point in history.
Yeah, like
'Cause,
where
like-
did you get the image of it? Like,
Yeah. Where do you get that idea? Where did you get an image of a werewolf? Where did you get an image of a vampire? Where did you get an image of
the Predator.
yeah, or someone being like possessed, right? No one's just gonna think like this demon's gonna come in my body and like make my head spin 360. Like, no one just is that creative.
Your mother's talking.
Yeah, like, think about it. Try to think of something really messed up right now, right? Some really crazy creature.
Like a leprechaun.
Yeah, you've seen it in a movie though, right? You can't think of something you can create right now though, can you?
Right. No, not really.
Try to think of try to create something in your head, and I'll tell you what exactly it is. You want a giant serpent that lives in a lake? Loch Ness Monster. Boom. Someone
Right.
has seen something at some point.
That's weird. That's kind of crazy, actually. I mean, it's a good point.
Like, someone would have had to seen aliens at some point, because you have stone drawings of these alien-looking figures, but no one's ever like M. Night Shyamalan or who's that other horror movie guy? Stephen King.
Stephen King, dude.
Like, those don't just come, like, he's not just sitting there like, oh, this sounds really cool.
Dude, I guess he used to get, like, yoked and he would do all kinds of drugs and just, like, start writing, like, crazy stuff. And that would make sense, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, some people say, like, when you do certain drugs, it, like, puts you in tune with, like, different
Everything else,
spirits
yeah.
and, like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, so say you do drugs, right? Say you get super high on, like, shrooms or acid or PCP or something, right?
Mhm.
Like, how else could you see an image that's messed up or something you want to write about, like in his case, right?
Mhm.
How else do you see something unless something like that is actually, like, existing?
That's
like-
kinda,
No, those can't be original thoughts. Like, no one's ever been just, like, sitting there twiddling their thumbs like, oh, fuck. A half wolf, half man. That makes sense.
so
Let's write about it.
right. This is kind of similar too. Like, have you ever had a dream about, like, you see somebody but you've never met that person, like you've never seen that person before, but you have a dream about them
All the time.
But, like, I'm wondering if it's something like that too. Like, you've obviously, like, seen that person's face maybe before, and, like, your brain didn't process it. Like, it's
They say that. They say
like a subconscious thing.
They say subconsciously your brain isn't able to make up faces. So like if you have a dream and you see a face, it's because you've, even if it was just like in passing, you've seen that face at some point in your life.
You never really focused on it, but
Yeah.
your mind,
your brain
seen
like
it.
subconsciously took that screenshot.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah. And the brain is complex, right? So if anything was going to do it, the human brain could create something weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also how, without having seen that before? If it is truly impossible for your brain to make up faces or to make things up, right? And it's just going by stuff you've seen. What if, piggyback off of both of them, what if subconsciously we've seen some of that stuff, but our brain didn't focus, or it was like a fight or flight reflex? Like your brain was like, I'm going to ignore the fuck out of that creepy thing.
Right.
Right? And then you have a nightmare about that later because it's something you've seen.
That's crazy.
And also, who put those ideas in our head? What creature, what being, what thing performed that degree of inception on everybody and placed that idea deep in our subconscious?
I never really thought about that before.
So, like, you've seen Inception, right?
I can't say that I have.
So, I
think I tried to watch it once. I never got to finish it.
The whole idea of Inception is like breaking into someone's dream, right? Someone's subconscious, and planting an idea. So that when they wake up, you can subconsciously, like, make them think or have that idea. And then they, like, act on whatever they, like, saw in their head or something like that.
Kind of like how subliminal messages are.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So it's like, but like subconsciously giving people subliminal messages. It's like sneaking into people's brains while they're sleeping, right? At some point, for whatever you've had a nightmare for or whatever you've seen, person, place, thing, that idea has gotten into your head somehow. Whether it's social media, whether it's something, but like, I've had nightmares about shit like I can't explain, right? Like, and I've had like sleep paralysis before. Dude. Like, I wake up and I see, like, a creepy white lady in a white dress, something I've never seen before in my life. How'd that idea get in my head? Or am I actually seeing something? Am I in that some stage of half sleep, half awake where I'm actually seeing things that are real that I can't see when I'm actually fully awake? When my brain's, like, fully active and, like, has that guard up. Because when your brain is active, you have the fight or flight, right? Your brain has that natural guard, that natural reflex. But what if you're half asleep and your brain isn't using that? So you're seeing things that are always there, but your brain is choosing to ignore them.
Or you're seeing stuff that you've seen in your past life or something.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, how else do you explain? Like, have you ever had like reoccurring nightmares or reoccurring dreams? Like,
yeah.
The same.
Starts at the same like spot every time.
Yeah, like you recognize the spot. Like, dude, I've had stuff like that, like reoccurring, and I'm like, dude, this isn't like I've never been to this place before. I don't know. It's weird. Yep. I remember like when I was younger, I would like have these reoccurring nightmares, and I would like wake up screaming, like, I don't know, weird dreams, dude. Like, and what, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't like, I don't know. Can't really describe it. It wasn't like, it wasn't me. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was weird. But I would have dreams like I would be like getting like killed or something. I wouldn't be getting killed, but like stuff like that. I don't know.
How weird is it to like have a nightmare and like the whole time you're having a nightmare, you're not really scared, but you're scared when you wake up?
Yeah.
Like, fear's an emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like your brain's active for that. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, what if the reason when you're having nightmares, like, you don't feel fear, like, is because you're that security blanket of your brain, because fear keeps you alert, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're walking through a dark street in the middle of the night, you're looking back and forth.
Oh, your antennas are going up.
Yeah,
dude.
right. Yeah. So like, what if that defense mechanism is, shut off or in sleep mode while you're sleeping, and that's why we're able to dream about the things we dream about, or see the things you think you see, when you're half asleep, half awake, or hear the things you think you're hearing when you're, right about that REM cycle where you can still kind of hear subconsciously.
Yeah. Have you ever been like in the middle of like a bad dream and like you're like, I gotta wake up, I gotta wake myself up, and then like you can just wake yourself up out of a dream. Like you know you're in a dream, you're like, I need to get out of this dream right now. Like that's weird to me. Like it's weird. Like I've had dreams before too. It's like you're in a dream, and like you know that like you realize that you're in a dream while you're dreaming. I don't know if that.
Have you ever like? I've had instances where like that where like I can tell I'm in a dream and like I can hear myself in my head be like, this is a fucking dream. Like being a smart ass, right? Have you ever tried? Because I've tried it. I can't say I was ever successful or not. But have you ever tried like once you realize it's a dream, trying to like control what's going on in your dream?
I can't ever do that. It's either like. Yeah, I feel like I'm on autopilot when I do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only way I've been able to like control it is when I wake up. Like I know that I'm in a dream and I'm like, I just gotta be like, and then wake up. Like I don't know.
Sometimes dreams wake me up by themselves because in my dream I've pissed like 47 times,
Dude,
and then I wake up and I have to like go for 20 minutes.
Okay. So I've had dreams before where like I was pissing in my dream and like I was actually pissing when I was sleeping. But like now that I'm older and like I'm sure people do all the time, like have a dream that they're pissing, and then like you're dreaming and you're like, oh, I'm pissing the bed right now, and then you wake up and you're like, oh no, I'm cool. Like I don't
so
know.
like me, I've never had that, but it's like I'll piss in my dream. And then, like, my dream will continue for, like, all of 10 seconds. And then I'm like, oh, shit, I got to piss again.
Bro.
And it'll be, like, 40 times. And finally, like, subconsciously, like, I'm like, okay, I really do have to, like, drain the main vein real quick, you know?
Dude.
Those are the best ones, though. Those and, like, first morning urinations. Those are...
I don't
You get that, like, ugh, shit.
I don't get up in the middle of the night, dude. To go to the bathroom, I'll get up. I don't go to the bathroom, dude. Like... If I get up, I'm rolling over to the other side or something.
Like, look, if I pee, I'm just gonna...
The worst thing is, like, in the morning when I wake up, and, like, I'm like, oh, man, I wonder what time it is. And I look outside, and I'm like, oh, man, I know it's, like, 2 minutes, my alarm about to go off. And I look at my phone, and it's, like, 5:28. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Seriously? Like, my alarm didn't even go off yet.
That's the worst. The worst is waking up a couple minutes before your alarm's going to go off and knowing it, because my immediate reaction was like, all right, I'm going to push this alarm back like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. For sure.
Meanwhile, I wake up because of my alarm. I'm like, all right, cool, we're good. If I wake up 30 seconds before my alarm goes off, I'm pushing it back another 15 minutes. I'm like, I didn't ask for this. This is what we agreed on.
Yep. Dude, I started like getting my stuff ready before I go to bed. That way I can get up at like
the last
6:10.
second.
Yeah, dude. Like
6:15. Out of the house by 6:30.
I have my phases where I'll get up early sometimes, and then I'll sleep in sometimes. I'm going through a sleep in phase right now.
I get into my own head, and when I was second shift, it was a lot easier to like sleep in. But now it's like I gotta fight myself to sleep, because like I do the majority of my thinking like when I'm sitting there in the dark, like breathing really heavily, and my wife's like passed out next to me.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like just going through things like what if moments and
scenarios that are never
scenarios that have happened, won't ever happen. Like I always go through like once a week at least, like, oh man, if I win the lottery, but like I don't play the lottery, so like it's never gonna fucking happen. It's kind of hard to win the lottery if you're not putting money into it, but
you gotta play to win.
Yeah, so I don't play.
There's a dude down on St. Joe down by Burger. He lives like kind of down.
He played so nice, he hit it
Shambaugh.
twice.
He hit the lottery twice, dude. Hit the lottery. I don't know how long later it was, but then hit the lottery again.
God.
Dude.
And chooses to live in Fort Wayne.
But you know the
peasants.
dude spent freaking thousands of dollars on lottery tickets, obviously.
Right.
You don't just go buy 2 lottery tickets and hit the lottery. You're like, oh, I only played 2 tickets.
Hey, have you seen Lottery Ticket? Or whatever it was called?
All About the Benjamins?
Nah, it was, that one too. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's probably the original one. The one with Bow Wow. He worked at like Foot Locker or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep.
So,
I remember that.
All About the Benjamins.
Bow Wow was in All About the Benjamins, too.
Yeah, he was. He's also in Like Mike. Myth, for those who don't know. If you get electrocuted while holding a pair of J's, that doesn't make you a better basketball player. So
That was a classic movie, dude.
it was. Calvin Cambridge and the LA Knights.
Man. Yeah, it's like the new Space Jam, dude. I don't know.
Have you seen it yet?
No, but I don't want
Cameo from Michael Jordan in it.
Is there?
But not that Michael Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Haven't seen the movie. Read the article. It tricked me. Somebody told me Michael Jordan was in it, so I'm going to argue at the barber shop. Barbara was like, yeah, he's not even in it. I was like, no, they said he's in it. And he's like, no, he's not. So I looked it up, and an article was like, cameo from Michael Jordan. But I didn't read it because, you know, I just got off labels.
Right.
So I hand him the phone, and he scrolls down. He's like, and then right under it says, but not that Michael Jordan. That was Michael B. Jordan. I was like, oh, so I'm an idiot.
Still Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Still Michael Jordan.
I don't want to, like... I feel like people get the wrong idea if I give my opinion on it, but, like... I just feel like some movies you just can't, like...
LeBron James.
Recreate, like...
No, and if we're being honest, like, I went back and watched the original Space Jam, like, 6 months ago. It's not really a good fucking movie.
No, but, like...
But it was also made for, like, me as a kid.
As we were kids, like, that movie was amazing.
Yeah. And this one, what we got to remember is it's made for kids nowadays, right? If it was made for people like us, Kobe would have been in it. R.I.P. Or Allen Iverson. It's made for kids who like LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
But I feel like movies like that, though, they still target, like, the original audiences.
They
Like,
do. But, yeah.
I don't know. It's just,
I want to watch it.
It's like Home Alone 5 or Home Alone 6, dude. You just don't...
Is there that many?
I think there's like 5 or 6
Jesus
of them
Christ.
now. Yeah.
There was the one... Soon as the first one came out and it didn't have the original...
Home Alone 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
Kid
Because
with
Home
the
Alone 2
RC
was Lost in
car.
New York. Yeah. Kid with the RC car. Once that one, I was like, ugh.
It's weird.
Yeah. Was that the same little kid from Liar Liar?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
They have the same, like, 40-year-old smoker voice at 12 years of age. Justin Cooper. It might have been.
Look at that, dude.
You go and play for the NFL
It
and
might
the
have
NFL.
been.
Stuff? Jesus Christ. I wonder if any of his teammates knew it.
Is that him? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Holy crap, dude. Good catch.
Hey, we out here.
What happened to the actor Justin Cooper?
Worked in sports radio.
Huh.
Fox Sports Radio. Look him up. Just look up Justin Cooper. And go to his wiki page, because wiki never lies. No one can edit that page. They lied to us.
He looks like a convict, dude.
He does. Kind of looks like Goldberg.
Wiki.
Actor. He was in Full House. He must have been one of the twins. Or he played both twins. What else?
Boy
did he-
Meets World. I remember that.
Max Reed, Liar Liar. There it is.
Dennis. Yeah, see, like Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. Nope, trash, bro. He was.
Mr. Wilson.
Oh, that's the original.
Yeah, I know. I love that one. Puts
Okay.
chiclets in the dude's teeth.
Oh yeah, dude. Old Faithful.
Hold on. So, can you go to his IMDb?
Yes.
Actor. Scroll up. I want to see the picture icons underneath his picture, like where the video cases known for. Yeah, there you go.
Were these?
No,
Or these?
those ones right there. I was just seeing what. This
Yes.
pen is royal blue. It used to be the jam.
Brothers Keeper. Can't say that I've seen it. You seen this?
No.
No, I ain't seen
I don't
it.
recognize the two guys on the case with them.
I've seen him.
And why is the kid in a
Why is he
locker
standing like
with
that?
two adults?
Shit, dude.
They've got this kid
In a locker room.
in a locker room, inside the locker, with a guy in a sweater vest and a guy in
a
a
cardigan?
yeah, kind of cardigan and some jeans and a very promiscuous pose.
Cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Pull over.
Oh, man. Killer boots, man. I don't know, dude.
Sipping on Grandpa's cough syrup, are you? You'd shut up if you know it's good for you.
Shut your mouth. It was good for you, buddy. All right. I watch movies like that sometimes now, and I'm like, man, how did I miss that? Like, there's like some references or something, like jokes that I never caught.
Like in The Mask when he busts in the club and he's just like, "Somebody suck me."
He says that?
Yeah, it's a kids movie. And
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, dude.
No.
Go to YouTube. Somebody suck me. The Mask.
No way, dude.
I promise you.
He says that?
He says that.
I never caught it.
Somebody suck me.
I thought it was somebody stop me.
Oh, it might be. I know Dave makes fun of it, and they said it's because he said somebody suck me. It might be stop me. Praty, because I gotta. Okay, yeah, all right. So it was just Dave making fun of it. They made it seem like he said someone.
Yeah, right here he's kind of dressed up as the Mask. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, stuff like that. Like there'll be one-liners that I like never caught, and I'll watch a movie now and I'm like, oh man, that's a good one.
Google hidden one-liners from 90s movies. You butchered that one.
I'm on YouTube still. Whoa.
Sorry, you're still in images. Film quotes we did not get as kids.
You see that somewhere?
No, I'm just... That's how I would have labeled it. Obscure 90s movie quotes. Boom. Perfect. Okay.
Let's get weird. What?
Hold on.
There we go. Yeah, like that. Like
Finkel's Einhorn. Einhorn's Finkel, dude.
Dude, like that was like insane. Like if that was out now, like the whole like cross-dresser like movies back then were like so like I don't want to say like sexist or like
There's a lot of bigotry, sexism, and like, but like stuff you grew up as a kid, like you can't, like growing up as a kid, I mean, call somebody like a FAG or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was just that was like calling somebody stupid though.
Yeah.
Like
And
we
now,
talked about that a couple weeks ago. It's like
it's crazy that, I mean, there's always power in words, but it's crazy that how much power is given to every word now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy how
like so like in England it's a loose cigarette, right?
Right, yeah. You got a fag? Cigarette. But like growing up, we're like, oh man, that's gay. Like that's stupid. That's what it meant. That's stupid. Oh, that's gay. Nobody ever said that. Well, I mean like in that context was talking about like a person that's homosexual. Like no, that never crossed any of our minds.
No,
ever.
There's one word we knew we couldn't say. I was like, the hard R.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because, like, we knew, like, the history and everything behind that. But, like, even, like, calling, like saying the word fairy, like, offends people.
Yeah, see, that's weird. I mean, I guess it's not weird, but, like, back then, it's like, dude, you fairy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, now,
you
like,
wimp.
now you can't even call, like, people stupid. Because then, like, you're making fun of me of being, like, uneducated.
Yeah.
Like, every word is
like,
offensive now.
Retarded. That's retarded. And, like, you shouldn't say that. Like, that's not how I meant it. But, like, okay, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but that's all, like, stuff that we grew up on.
Right.
Like, the Ace Ventura, what is this one? Pet Detective?
That is Pet Detective.
Where he, like, sticks his butt in people's faces and spreads his butt cheeks together and, like, acts like his butt's talking to people. Like, dude, there's no way you could do that now.
Yeah.
No way.
Then in When Nature Calls, he has sex with that tribal lady, and the guy calls him White Devil the entire time.
Yeah.
That would probably still fly, though.
Oh, yeah, I got called White Devil not too long ago.
Scroll down. Let's see what the next movie quote is.
Austin Powers had a bunch of those, dude.
Oh, my God, dude.
Richie Cunningham, and This Is My Wife, Oprah. Bro. Those movies are cheesy, dude, but they're funny, dude. Just from, like, them innuendos or whatever you call them, like.
Dude, just like at work today. Like, are you trying to discriminate against wife beaters? Like, nah, they're horrible people.
They're horrible people, dude.
I'm talking about a shirt.
That was a good one. Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Dogma.
Clerks.
They're Clerks, yeah. They're all the same.
Yeah, like this one.
Whoop-de-doo.
Where he was like a trans or whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I wouldn't pass. Like, imagine Chappelle Show trying to survive in this day and age.
Dude.
Chappelle Show came out at the perfect time.
I still can't even believe that, like, that was... Well, I guess you could say that about, like, South Park, too, but, like, I cannot believe some of the stuff that was on the Chappelle Show. That is okay.
Look up Season 1, Episode 1. I want to see if I got it right. Because I'm pretty sure Season 1, Episode 1 was when, it was the black dude who was part of KKK, I think was the first thing. It was like Dave Chappelle was like, look, this is how we're going to start, and it's either going to sink or swim. We're gonna but we're going to go hard the first time. Yeah, Clayton Bigsby. Yeah, so Clayton Bigsby, for those who don't know anything about Chappelle Show, he's a blind black guy. He's part of the KKK in the Chappelle Show. And he doesn't know he's black. And, yeah, he gets really racy. No pun intended.
But it's okay because... I mean, it's Dave Chappelle,
yeah,
I guess.
It's Dave Chappelle. But nowadays, it would not fly. But his first episode, he's like, look, Comedy Central, this is what we're doing. And let's put this out there as a feeler and see where it goes from here. He got 3 seasons out of it.
Charlie Murphy's the one who wrote, like, all that stuff.
Oh, Charlie Murphy's hilarious. Rest in peace.
They were saying, like, he's the one who wrote...
Correction.
The original
I did have sex with Katie.
Chappelle Show. And that show's nuts, dude. I don't understand how that made it.
Oh, man.
But then again, it's just like South Park. Like,
do you remember the Mad Real World episode of Chappelle Show?
Mm-mm.
Where they were making fun of how the real world there's always like a bunch of white people and like one black person. So they flipped it. Like everyone was black and there's like one white guy. So his dad like comes over to like meeting there like the parents or whatever. And like this chick's yelling, I don't like the way he's looking at me. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. What I'm looking. And Dave Chappelle's like, he's doing it. And they stab his dad. Like it's.
I feel like I've seen something like that actually.
Like having sex with his girlfriend and stuff. He's like, correction, I didn't have sex with Katie. She's like, no, you had sex with me. He's like, correction, I did have sex with Katie. And Dave Chappelle's like in one of the confessions as another character. He's like, I had sex with Katie too. Oh god.
Yeah, I can't. That's nuts.
That's such a good show. I wish it's still around.
Like stuff like that. There's no way you could do that. Right?
That Crank Anchors. That wouldn't fly.
Dude, I forgot about.
I'm surprised South Park is still doing as well as it is.
I don't understand I don't understand it. Even Family Guy. I don't understand the stuff that like they've said on that show and like skits. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like nobody really.
But when it's coming from a British baby's mouth, it's hilarious.
Right. Or a dog's mouth.
Or a fat Boston guy.
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, there's even like some like King of the Hill stuff, like even back then. Like I was watching.
I sell propane and propane accessories, dog.
There was like a snippet of one of the episodes, and I'm like, dude, how did nobody catch that? Like, it was just a really like vulgar joke. It's like, wow.
I'm 100% sure that everything Boomhauer had ever said has been racist.
Well, he's talking about like what's dude's name? John Redcorn.
Mm.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
It's
man.
crazy.
Does not make sense.
Speaking of John Redcorn, I was watching. There's this like YouTuber or whatever, and he goes around the country and like visits historical spots. So he came to Indiana and went to like a museum in Indianapolis, and then went to like Tippecanoe, and was like doing a thing about the Battle of Tippecanoe, where the settlers battled like the natives around the Shawnee Indians around Fort Wayne and stuff like that. Like that's where Tecumseh, he was like in part of the Shawnee tribe or whatever. And I didn't know that. I mean, I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to like Fort Wayne history, I guess. But like that's kind of like insane. Like he was telling the story about how the English settlers or the Europeans or whatever just came in and like slaughtered the natives and took the land, and like that's kind of crazy. Like you hear about that stuff, but like for it to happen like here, I never even knew that. Like I knew there was natives, but I didn't know like what had happened. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's because so like you hear about the natives like in school, and you hear Plymouth Rock, you hear like Pilgrims and Indians. You don't hear like that. It was pretty country spread. Like it's spread throughout like the entire country damn near. So this is all native land.
I mean, it makes sense. Like Kikianga, and there was a huge native population.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
If I wanted to like go out, and when we went fishing in Kentucky, we go down there or whatever, but like when you're going down the river, you can see like burnout spots like on the riverbanks. Like there'll be like black flat spots in the dirt, and like our guide was like, oh, let's go check this out. And it's like where natives would have fires, and they would make like arrowheads and stuff on the fire, and a lot of times you can find like arrowheads and stuff around them.
That's pretty cool.
But I mean, they're like 6 feet underground, and you're like, that's kind of crazy to think about, like all that land on top of that. Like how old?
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me grabbing anything from any Indian land anytime soon.
Okay, that's funny you say that, because he picked up one of the rocks that you would use to like smash a arrowhead, and he was like, here you go. And I have it in my hand, and we're driving on the river, and I'm having it in my hand, and I'm like thinking, just drop it overboard. And he goes, what'd you do with that rock? And I'm like, I threw it in the water. Like, I ain't trying to be like cursed or nothing, dude. Like it's it's like movies portrayed as burial ground, but I'm not gonna risk it at all. Right?
You know?
No, I ain't doing none of that, bro. Nope.
So like piggybacking off of that, but like not about Indians. You know the movie The Exorcist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that house is located in St. Louis, right?
Is it?
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I think
like the original one or the one in the movie?
The original one, like head spin 360, come down the stairs backwards, stab yourself in the vagina with crucifix movie, like that movie. Yeah. So like, movie is said to be based off of true events, whether you believe that or not. Like I said, I think every horror movie is rooted in some sort of truth. So the going theory or feeling about that house is it's so haunted that removing a stone from the property brings a demon home with you. Like that's how haunted and demonic that whole property is, according to myth, urban legend.
I feel like that'd be partially true though. It could be.
Like they're like, so like imagine like in like some thick treaded boots, and you get like a pebble stuck in it.
Oh,
now you got to be
man.
cursed because you were just walking one day. Crazy. And you can also rent that to stay the night in that house.
I don't know why you would want to do that.
I'm good. And you can rent what is that? The
Annabelle house or whatever that is.
I think that one, and what is that movie with Ryan Reynolds was in it? The guy goes crazy because Amityville Horror House. I think you can.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like,
He was
I
in
watched
that movie,
that. I
wasn't he?
watched that
Yeah.
movie, and that movie was like the house is what possessed this guy. I don't know why anybody would want to rent that. Be like, yeah, let's hang out here. I don't.
That's kind of
do
like, it kind of reminds me of like the stone tape theory. You ever heard of that? It's where like energy gets recorded in like natural materials,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
wood
okay,
and
yeah,
stone
yeah,
and stuff like
yep.
that. I wouldn't be able to explain it.
Yeah.
Of all like piggybacking off what you were talking about, like of all conspiracies and stuff, like theories, I think that like paranormal and like stuff like that is more true than theory. It's like my aunt, on my dad's side, she does like paranormal investigative type stuff. She has like a group, and I've seen stuff that she's recorded in pictures and stuff that she's taken, and like
I would actually love to like try that.
dude,
I think that'd be kind of cool. I think it would be terrifying. Like, I'm not gonna be
Mhm.
like you ever seen Ghost Hunters?
oh yeah, I was gonna talk about it.
I'm not gonna be like the whole like come out here you ghost pussy. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm good.
There's one Ghost
Like,
Adventures, I think. it
Yeah,
is.
Ghost Adventures. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, keep doing that. You know, just I'll be the guy in the corner. Like, yeah, you don't have to come over here, Ghost. Just go over there. I'll
I've seen the Ghost with Patrick Swayze. That dude gets beat up. Dude.
Yeah. Right. They there's one I saw. There's actually only one episode of that like freaked me out. And they're like, and it's because I saw it. Like, it wasn't like, you know, it's always like, oh my god, did you hear that?
Mm.
And you're like, no, I didn't. We're like, what was that? And then like they look and it's just like an empty room.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching it and they were walking through like a basement or something. And normally like they'll be pointing forward and they see something to their left or right that's not on the screen. Like, oh god. And like they'll turn.
Right.
But I like this rock got thrown like at this guy. Like, and you can see it just like
I feel like I'm
get up and come toward him. And I was like, no, nah.
Dude.
So you don't insult that shit.
I believe in that stuff because I feel like you can feel like evil. I think.
Yeah.
Hey, you could feel that stuff, but like we were into it like in high school and stuff. We went to, I don't know if you know where Island Club is, apartments on Wall. I think it's Wallen or something.
Sounds.
There's a
familiar.
cemetery across the street from this apartment complex, and we would go over there and like walk around and like have our phones out recording and like, dude, we've recorded some stuff on there. Like, we heard like voices and stuff, and then I didn't see anything, but we went to this place called Eel River Cemetery. That's where my aunt. That's the reason we went there. Is like my aunt went there and took pictures and videos, and she showed them to me, and like it's like we're going there. So two of the guys there said they seen something, and then we all took off running. They seen like a orb or something. I didn't see it. They'd seen it, but I was running right behind them.
Right.
I mean,
I'm not gonna stick around to see it.
but like, yeah, like, you can. I feel like stuff like that, like energy, you can feel that stuff. Like
Paranormal and evil stuff. That's the kind of stuff
It's-
I can't fool around with that.
it's
Like,
kind of, yeah, right.
like I'm not. I refuse to like let a Ouija board in my house.
Oh yeah, no,
Like-
absolutely not. No way.
Like, I'm cool. Part of it is because I believe in that, but the other part is like I watched the original Exorcist when I was like 6, and I'm still terrified of that movie.
Dude, yeah, I won't
And
watch it.
I won't watch it ever again.
Nope.
Like, yeah, I'm good.
But it's kind of like it goes along with like people. Like, you can feel when somebody's like furious. You know what I mean? Like,
Dogs
you,
feel it.
like-
Dogs feel good and bad energy. That's why they'll kill one person and cuddle up with the next.
Right, and like people don't even have to say anything. Like, you can sit two people in a room, one's in a furious mood, and the other person's in a great mood. You can tell. Like,
Mhm.
you can definitely feel it. Like,
There's this place, because you're talking about the Eel River Cemetery. There's this place in Oberlin, Ohio. If you guys ever go to Oberlin, Ohio, Google it first. It's called Gore Orphanage, which sounds creepy. And just do like Gore or like the myth or legend of Gore Orphanage. That way you can see what I'm talking about. So there's a couple legends of it. One is
they made a movie about it.
yeah, they did. It's actually on one of the ghost like shows too. They looked it up. So Gore Orphanage was and it's called Gore Orphanage because the guy who owned its last name was Gore. But it's also eerily creepy because the legend was that the orphanage burnt down, right? That actually happened. But the legend is that the guy who owned the place was so pissed off at the kids or like possessed or something that he burned it down with all the kids inside. There's no proof to that, but there's also no proof against it from anything I've actually looked up, right? So it's a very like paranormal, like an investigated area. A lot of the locals will go out there in the middle of the night. You go out there, and it's a giant mass of land. It's not just like a building. Like there's entire land that it used to be on, right? And there's still like standing things. Like I think there's like a couple markers for the driveway. There's a couple like
driveway
benches.
marker.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So there's like a seating area, camping area, all this kind of stuff, and they say you go out there and you'll hear things, whether it's kids laughing, which is like the creepiest thing you could hear.
Ghostly wail.
Yeah, you can hear like screaming and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of people have gone out there, and whether it's because like they're actually seeing something or they trick themselves into feeling like they hear something and they like start running. There's a lot of people that go out there and get hurt, like whether it's paranormal involved or like they're running from something and they fall down like a hill and like snap their ankle or something. Like people are getting hurt out there.
Dude, so right here, as early as 1905, teenagers were visiting the Swift Mansion before it developed the current Gore Orphanage legend and was supernatural due to its reputation for being haunted.
Yeah.
So they knew that back in 1905.
Yeah. So get off the wiki, see if we can find like an actual thing of it.
There's got to be some
And there's like a whole Gore Orphanage Road and everything. Like it's crazy.
lores and legends of Ohio.
Yeah, there we go. Gore Orphanage. Old Man Gore, the owner of the orphanage who was either attempting to collect... Motherfucker.
Sorry.
Was attempting to collect some sort of insurance money or just simply hated children. So what is that? That's likely cause of the fire. Okay, yeah. Disgruntled male employee. While he was never named, the shady character had some sort of beef with the orphanage owner, Mr. Gore, who in this version loves, can you scroll down a little bit, children, and decided to exact his revenge. An unknown crazy man or was an accident. Like, so, like, the one everyone has always heard is that Old Man Gore lit it on fire, right?
Because it did burn down.
It did burn down. Like, the thing is actually burnt down. But no one knows the cause of it.
It's like in the middle of the woods, too. That's creepy,
so
dude.
it's deep back in the middle of the woods. You got to cross a creepy little bridge to get there. And, like, as much as people go out there to, like, investigate that, you would think, like, there'd be, like, people, like, patrolling there. There's not. Like, you're alone out there. If you can go to some of the Google images, you can actually pull up some even creepier pictures than just, like, in the middle of the woods.
Let's do it.
And it's believed for, like, people to be doing, like, seances and stuff out there.
For
like,
sure. People do that stuff, and it's kind of amazing how people will go to the lengths to do to like worship the devil. It's kind of insane to me.
What a creepy little kid right there.
Dude. That's just a normal kid. We're like, yeah, he's creepy.
Still creepy looking.
It is. Oh, absolutely. Like, it's kind of.
What are the other pictures like of the area?
Yeah, let me go back.
So that's a sky view.
This is the actual orphanage.
Creepy ass building
Oh, here
too.
we go. We'll start up here.
I think that was like the main house he lived in.
Let me go back. Oh, here's a good one. Let's try this. You gotta go through 10 links, dude.
No, go back. They had a blow up button on it.
Here we go. Sorry.
Go back on this page. Or close it. It's one of those links. Go to the one next to it. Same thing.
Dude, what in the world?
Google link?
Here
Right, there you go.
Okay.
So if you click that house, and then it's got to blow up on the picture. Right at the bottom. Yep.
Oh, okay. Can't really do. Oh, those are for sale. That's why it's so. see if I can find another one. Here we go. That ain't it either. Yeah, dude. There's a big one. Oh, man.
Whatever. Just go back to the images page. We'll find one. You see that whole site right there?
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All those are pictures.
Small thumbnail. Oh, here we go.
Boom. So that's just like a creepy looking seance area that's out there.
Oh, yeah, somebody definitely...
Go to the next one. Hit the next button. See what we got. Yeah.
It's the driveway marker. There's only 2 on that page. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could bring myself to go there. Oh, there's a whole documentary on it.
So there's a documentary and there's a movie. Like, read the or listen to the documentary at some point, or watch the video of it or whatever.
I'm definitely going to.
Because it's creepy, and like hearing, like, obviously, you know, being out there and like knowing people who have gone and stuff. Like, obviously everyone's like, yeah, I seen something. Like, you can't believe everybody, but it's creepy. Scroll up to that aerial shot.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the whole area.
So they leveled everything.
Yeah.
That's a woods, I'm assuming, right here.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's
And
crazy.
it's back there, dude. It's not like...
Yeah, dude, you can tell this is out in like the county.
Like I said, you gotta... Once you get, like, near it, there's one creepy, rickety bridge you have to, like, cross.
Ooh, are they selling it? Dude, they might be selling it. No wonder. Yeah, I seen that bridge? Where's it at? This one.
Yep. And it's just small. There's no lights. You have 2 reflectors.
It's like that bridge was built so people could get to that orphanage.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%. That's like, yeah, it's around that time period.
It's a 1 lane.
That's creepy, dude.
Yeah. Just the fact that there's an orphanage in the middle of the woods is creepy.
Yeah. In the middle of BFE, Ohio.
Yep.
It's crazy. But like back then, like it kind of reminds me of like I guess they called them like insane asylums, but like if you were sick or like people would get sent to like insane asylums and like they wouldn't even be insane.
Yeah.
Like back when like people would be drunk, like have drinking problems.
Yeah.
Or like morphine habits, they would just put them in mental institutions.
Yeah.
Like
Just put them in the loony bin.
that's crazy to me. I don't know. I'm gonna be on that kick now. Freaking ghouls and goblins and it's pretty interesting stuff. Though. Like, but yeah, that's kind of like stuff like that doesn't get taught. You know what I mean? Nobody really talks about stuff like that, but like stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
And it's like somebody will talk about it and like, oh man, you're just kind of.
There's a place that the Ghost Adventure guys went to, and they went to twice. And it's supposed to be like one of the most haunted places. It's like a restaurant, bar, club thing.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
Yep.
apparently it's been like the worst haunting places I've ever gone to.
It's like a big, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. They did like a hotel one time too. That was pretty interesting.
Hotel Cecil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cecil Hotel. So did you watch, have you watched that show on Netflix that came out about that? It was about the lady who disappeared. So there's this lady, I can't remember her name. What happened was they got her on camera, like going into the building, going into her room. They have a video of her getting onto the elevator, and she's acting super erratically, just like being weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a video. She gets off. She's like hits the button to go down on the elevator, it opens. It doesn't close. So she hits it again. It doesn't close. She hits it again. It doesn't close. So she peeks out of the elevator, and then like immediately like goes back to the elevator, like she's seen something or somebody that like she's trying to like get away from.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets out of the elevator, and she does like something weird with her hands, and that's the last thing they see of her. They never see her leave the building. And they find her upstairs, like, and this is probably weeks or months later, they find her body fully clothed in the water tank on the roof of the building. And there's no other cameras that catch her after that elevator scene.
What?
Yeah. And Hotel Cecil is known to have a lot of deaths and a lot of murders in it, so they think something evil is going on in Hotel Cecil.
What?
Yeah, and it's on Skid Row in LA. But they can't see this girl. Like, her parents are like, oh, we haven't heard from her, blah, blah, blah. And she just disappears off the face of the planet. She was like a student. And they go like exploring the room. They don't find anything crazy. And she was one of the kind of students who's like always on social media, always posting on Twitter and texting, all this kind of stuff. And one day it just stops. And there's no camera in that hallway that she gets out into. And there's no other camera that catches her the entire time. They go upstairs on top of the roof. They don't find her. They go back investigating, and a couple weeks later, the water coming into the rooms is black. You have black water flowing into the sinks in the rooms. So they go up into the water tank weeks after she's gone missing, and they find her body still fully clothed. Her clothes has like small bits of like sediment, almost as if she was like laying on the roof with her clothes on. And
What?
for some reason the water is like pitch black coming out of the sinks and stuff. Which doesn't make sense, right? It would make sense to have like disgusting, non-drinkable water because there's dead body in it. But black water, pitch black water, doesn't make sense. A documentary on it. It's a docu-series, and it's called Hotel Cecil. And it's about that whole thing. And it's supposed to be like one of the most evil, haunted hotels ever. Like, really, locations ever.
I did that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, and it's like a 2-minute video of her just like being super weird on an elevator and like creepy.
Let me see.
Are you trying to screenshot something?
Yeah.
Do you have the snipping tool?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to do it. What does that say? I'm not really. I don't have Logan here, dude, so I don't really know. Oh, okay. I see it. Oh, well. Try it another time. Well, yeah, dude, where we at? 2 hours and 15 minutes, my guy. It's the longest one yet.
I talk too much.
No, dude, that was good. What time is it? We can wrap it up. 8:30. Holy crap.
Wife hasn't texted me, so she must still be at work.
That sucks. We can wrap it up, dude. Well, thanks for coming out and watching the show. If you're still here,
Stay classy, San Diego.
yeah. Thanks for being on the show. Finally,
Yeah, anytime.
you're more than welcome to come back. We'll have you on again if you want. It's up
I
to
have
you.
more interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, I really wasn't really prepared. I mean, it's been over 2 weeks, and I thought I was going to be more prepared than I was, but I just haven't. There was a lot of stuff that I remember the last couple of weeks that I wanted to talk about today, and then it slipped my mind. So it tends to happen a lot, but yep. I think this is episode 11, but if not, then whatever. But yeah, thanks for coming out. Logan will be back soon, don't worry. I told you guys that I wouldn't do another one without Logan, but I'll have him back on, and we will go from there, I guess. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think we're on TikTok.
You are?
I think so. We don't really do too much on TikTok, but
Because you're not 14.
yeah, I got made fun of for that, so I just don't get on TikTok anymore. But now all these grown men are on TikTok, and they're like, "Oh, dude, TikTok's for like 12-year-old girls, dude. What are you doing on there?" No, it's not, dude. And then people that
Dude, first off, there's like home reno projects and stuff you can watch on
people
TikTok.
People send me
like,
TikTok links all the time. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching it because you used to make fun of me for being on TikTok, so you're wasting your time. Sometimes I'll watch, like, don't get me wrong.
I have a TikTok, but I've put nothing on it. And Allie got one, and she's obsessed with it to this point. So that's more her thing. Watch a lot of gun and home renovation stuff on there. Some pretty cool project ideas.
Dano is, dude?
Huh?
Dano? You know who Dano is? When I was on there, there used to be a dude. His name was Dano, and he had like Dano seasoning, dude. And he would just try to come up with recipes using his own seasoning that he made, and just butcher a recipe. Like now he does like good ones and stuff. But I remember like when he was first coming out, and like stale cracker. That dude's like, put that on a cracker, dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Not at all.
It's like this
I'm still
dude from
fairly
New
new,
Orleans.
so.
He's got like long blonde hair, and he's like real country, and he does like crawfish boils all the time.
My kind of guy.
He's like, that's money, dude, or whatever. I remember one of his first TikToks, dude, and I'm like, this dude's not funny at all, bro. Like, and then now he's got like millions of followers and all kinds of stuff.
Maybe I should try this thing out.
Yeah, not bad.
Post videos of me doing Corvette.
What's the date today? The 19th?
Today is the 19th.
Yeah, so as of today, July 19th, this probably won't be put up till tomorrow because it's 2 hours and 19 minutes. It's going to take like 5 or 6 hours to upload just because it's 1080p.
Stupid long, bro.
Yeah, so just share it with your friends if you want. Like it, leave a comment. Let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see.
If you don't like it, then fuck you.
Hey, yeah. You got that right. You said it, not me. But all right, y'all. Appreciate it again. Thank you, and we'll see you later. Peace.
You're my brother.